An Upanishad gives the spiritual instruction that where there is I and mine, there appears bondage, which is illusory. While where there is an absence of I and my, there is liberation, which is after all of the nature of the innate. Therefore, the Maharshi, both in silence and in his verbal instruction, declared that the primary upadesha, or spiritual instruction, is in silence, maunavak, silent speech, or we could say eloquent silence. He also said that silence, that state in which no I arises. Obviously, where there is no I, there is no mine either. That is, it is that state, or rather the real nature of existence, in which there is no false notion of abiding as an individual, embodied or otherwise. Silent being is the nature of self-realization, or the realization of Brahman, the vast absolute. It is that realization in which being and knowledge are identical. Where there is the division between subject and object, I knowing this, or I don't know this. Where there is such division, such is imagination or duality, such is ignorance. Real knowledge is of the nature of undivided being. Real knowledge is proclaimed by the wise to be unchanging. The unchanging is the root of peace, just as the perfect fullness of existence is the root or very nature of bliss. Therefore, in self-realization, or in seeking self-realization, you must seek that which is ever existent, not that which begins, for what appears will disappear and what begins will end. What has birth obviously dies. Rather, you must find that which is ever existent. If it is ever existent, then realization, which necessarily, in order to be non-dual, must be of the very nature as that which is realized, cannot possibly be an event, a condition, a state of mind, and most certainly not a state of the senses or body. It is also that in which there appears no I. Hence the Maharshi has said, the egoless state is the real state, the only real state that there is. So who is it that seeks realization of the Absolute? If the nature of that one is known, there is found only to be the existence or reality of the Absolute, and no other, no second, no I. And where there is no I, there is no my, such as my mind, my experience, my bondage, my suffering, my unhappiness, and so forth and so on. In order to realize that, the reality, the true self, as it is, Sri Ramana said, inquire. Inquire within yourself, who am I? cease to regard that which is objective as yourself, but in the attempt to know yourself, make your vision non-objective. Who am I? If the inquiry is made at the depths within yourself, naturally transcendent over all thought, the result is Brahman's knowledge of Brahman. For only Brahman can know Brahman. Only the true self can know the self. Another cannot do so. Another is not real. The unreal cannot realize the real. But if we simply unrealize the unreal, reality remains, just as it always has been. And that which was previously called liberation, from the standpoint of existent bondage, is found to be the only true state. Why it is not a state at all? It is just the very nature of existence. The existence is Satchidananda, being, consciousness, bliss. These are not qualities or attributes. You do not have existence. You do not possess consciousness. Bliss is not a quality. Rather, Satchidananda is a way of describing one and the same thing, which is immutable, truly ineffable, which is why silence is most eloquent. The Upanishads declare the nature of the self, or Brahman, to be Satyam Jnanam Anantam, the true, the knowledge, the infinite, or the limitless Anantam. Find that which is true within yourself. What is true always is. It always is just as it is. Unborn, imperishable. Non-dependent, uncaused. Find this knowledge, jnanam, within yourself. Knowledge divided between a knower and a known, with a relationship of knowing, is not true knowledge, but is just more delusion. True knowledge neither comes nor goes, rests on no support, and is self-evident. Find the infinite within yourself. Cease to misidentify as being a body, and your infinite nature will become self-evident to you. Because of your nature, because of the nature of truth itself, which is absolute, and therefore indivisible, invariable, and undifferentiated. Because of that, we may say that the original tradition of Vedanta, the final knowledge, as epitomized by Dakshinamurti himself, and seen in Sri Ramana, just the very same. The original tradition is being itself. And the original Upadesha, or spiritual instruction, is the very same silent being. Inquire within yourself and realize this conclusively. within yourself.